Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Adventure Clan. This is Manu, and today we're exploring Virginia Water Park, man-made park, which is part of the Windsor Great Park. It's gonna be great. So this lake was built in the middle of the 1700s by William Augustus, Lord of Cumberland, and there was a river Bourne, and they built a dam and they made this lake and planted around it. It was a retreat for the royal family. A superb park. There's a waterfall here. Of course, it's not natural. It was built when they built the dam, but it's impressive. It also has a grotto at the base. Quite an engineering feat. I don't know the year when it happened, but once there were some severe floods and the whole waterfall was washed away, and this is not the original one. They had to rebuild it. The construction of the lake took around 5 years and required hundreds of workers, including laborers, craftsmen, and even engineers brought in to ensure that it all came together perfectly. The place originally was a retreat for the royal family, but now it's open to all of us. Very popular spot for dog walkers. One of the most surprising things here is the Roman ruins. These are genuine remains from Leptis Magna, a city in modern-day Libya. They were brought here in the early 19th century during the reign of George IV, who had a passion for collecting antiquities. What's amazing is that these columns and fragments date back to around 200 AD, and seeing them feels like stepping back in time, even though they're far away from their original home. Oh no. Good girl. Good girl. I don't know if this is a burl, like some type of cancer, or is it a chaga mushroom. I'm not an expert in mushrooms, but they look weird. We're on the south side of the lake now, which was planted to resemble a natural forest. It has oak, Scots pine, beech, birch, all sorts of trees. What you see green here around, it's all rhododendron, which is an invasive species here in the UK. And I'm not sure, but apparently their root system eliminates a substance which inhibits the growth of other plants or trees. So I think in the future, if they're not managed properly, the whole woods will disappear and it's just gonna be a rhododendron thicket. Noah is in her element. As you see, her camouflage pattern blends perfectly with the leaves on the floor. There are a lot of gigantic, impressive trees in this park, which no doubt they benefit from the fact that they grow on royal ground. If they would have been in Romania, IKEA would have made the furniture out of them already. We found a massive, I think it's a chestnut, fallen over. There's another one over there. Here in the UK they leave them like this because it's wet and cold, so they're not a fire hazard. But oh my god, it's huge. Just have a look, comparing to Kami. That's the root system. Huge. Fallen trees are beneficial to the forest because where they fall and their root system comes up, they leave puddles, and in this water a lot of animals breed and hydrate. Frogs, mosquitoes, all sorts of tadpoles and salamanders. It's extremely beneficial. We took the path through the woods because the alley by the lake is very busy. We don't like crowds very much. This is a spectacular feature here in the park. Birch tree growing out of the stump of another dead tree. I imagine a seed dropped here and it took root on the stump of a fallen tree. A very curious and interesting thing to see. I never saw this before. Just goes to show you that nature will prevail. Sniffing, sniffing. We're at the famous 5-arch bridge, an impressive sight. It's a hotspot for photographers. The way the bridge reflects in the water Makes perfect circles, you see. It was built in the 1800s, later than the lake, and it represents the classic Georgian architecture. It's a very nice bridge. There are stables in the area where you can hire horses and you can ride them. This is the path for the horses. That's where the cars go. And this is for pedestrians. Here we have a classic example of heathland, which is low shrubbery, grows on acidic and waterlogged soil, and I think there's a lot of peat in this soil. I'm not an expert, sometimes I'm an idiot. I don't know much more than I do know, so but at least I try to get informed and spread the information I know. It's a very important ecosystem for all sorts of bugs and butterflies and Noah. She blends perfectly. Sorry. Hey, Kami. Over there across the water there's an artificial island. When they built this lake, they had a pavilion there where they would host lavish parties, and that's where the royal family used to retreat to be secluded from everybody. Also they had boats on the lake, all over the lake, and the same, they would hold the parties on the boats. I think that was a common theme for this park during those times. A lot of parties. We're on the north side of the lake now, which is much more landscaped, but it's still very enjoyable. There are a lot of exotic trees like this huge monkey tree, Araucaria araucana. I think they're from Australia, isn't it?
Yes. Or New Zealand?
Well, I throw Australia, Tasmania and New Zealand in the same pot. Sorry for my Australian followers. My wife, which is a landscape architect and horticultural expert, just corrected me, so the monkey tree is not from Australia, it's from Chile and Argentina. So yeah, I don't mind being corrected when I'm wrong. I find it quite helpful. We're going a bit off the beaten path. We're looking for a spot to have lunch, or we have some packed lunch with us. Was a stunning little tree, flowering now in January. It smells so good. They have the trunk so gnarly, like made of wire. Hamamelis intermedia. Beautiful. I love it. We've reached an enchanting pine grove, which is the thing which is curious about it. Usually in pine wood forests, grass doesn't grow. because of the acidity of the fallen needles. But here is like a carpet, a green carpet. I would love to lay and roll in this grass, but it's too cold. We're gonna come here in the spring. So this beech tree, his branch broke and fell, but it's still connected, so it's alive. And now the end of the branch grows like an individual tree. We found a grove of large trees, Larix decidua. It's a conifer which loses its leaves in the winter. They seem like they're dead, but they're not. Interesting bark pattern, and it's an impressive sight. Another perfect example of Lord of the Rings like tree. It's a beech, probably 200 years old. Wow, the roots are like ducts tapping into the earth. Fabulous. I think we found our spot for lunch. We're gonna have a delicious picnic. Some boiled eggs, sausages, some sheep cheese, some vegetables, nice hot tea, an apple, and of course we're gonna share with Noah. Nothing beats an outdoor meal. I'm gonna give to Noah as well, it's just at the end. If not, we're gonna ruin the hierarchy of the group. Norika is so well behaved. She's gonna get her share now. Very aromatic and hot. Lemongrass, ginger and lemon tea. Such a good feeling to have a full belly, especially when it's cold outside. We're on the road again, and Kami tells me that this Hamamelis intermedia, the shrub which has yellow flowers in January, they smell like honey. She says that this is called the witch hazel in English, which is a interesting name. What's that?
Some rhododendron.
Yeah. A lot of varieties of rhododendron around. This is the biggest tree stump I've ever seen. Kami, hi, get on top of it. I think it was a sequoia, a redwood. Wow.
Like a stage.
Yeah. Wait. This is gonna be our thumbnail. Ah. This is like an octopus or a chandelier. Wow. A bunch of sequoia trees. Stunning specimens. We're at the totem pole, a peculiar and unexpected sight here in Windsor Great Park. This was given to the British by Canada in 1958 to celebrate 100 years of British sovereignty of them. It was built. It was carved by the native people of Kwakitl from a single red cedar tree. It's impressive, a lot of animal figures on it, and it's proof that the British were also given things they not only took. We're back in the crowded part of the park. We're just gonna try and keep to the woods. Noah, get up. Hi. Hi. Good girl. Cheers. What I love about Virginia Water Park is how it combines different elements: history, art, design, nature. From the Roman ruins to the exotic trees and the totem pole, you can see a lot of thought and work went into this park. It's been carefully maintained over more than 200 years, and it's just an amazing place to visit. We're getting close to the car, so I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope our walk inspired you to visit, and if you liked it, please subscribe. We're gonna post a video every Saturday morning. Cheers, bye.